Welcome to Taverns, Politics, Tories, and Patriots. This is Melinda Klein. During the late 18th century and throughout most of the 19th century, the word Tory was odious to most Americans. If the Patriots had defended liberty, then it was the Tories most certainly have attempted to destroy it. Somehow victory had proven the superior virtue of the winners and at the same time had condemned the losers as men of inferior moral character. Few Americans are unfamiliar with such famous champions of liberty as Paul Revere, John Hancock, Sam Adams, George Washington, Ben Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson. But how many are familiar with those Tories, or British loyalists standing firm against the Revolution and political divorce from England? Throughout the War for Independence and immediately afterward, Tories met with almost universal hostility. Thousands left for Canada, a British colony. Others stayed on, advocating their loyalty to liberty in newspapers, pamphlets, sermons, and speeches. What transpired in the dark corners of a tavern between men of business or politics? While records exist, we will never know the entire story. Men used taverns as places to conduct business, seek justice, collect or send mail, relax and unwind. In the colonial period, taverns served practical purposes. Many colonial taverns were places where local courts met to decide the fate of community lawbreakers. In the tavern, food was available for purchase along with drink. Like wages, tavern prices were fixed as not to take advantage of travelers away from home. There were colonial laws requiring tavern keepers to provide a bed, horse stables, and food for a range of appetites at set prices. Yes, operating a colonial tavern or inn required a license. Did everyone adhere to this law? No. Were people prosecuted for this? Yes. Were people, men and women, denied licenses? Yes. The reasons of why or why not people were denied licenses were many. However, keeping public order and monitoring the amount of establishments was important to city governments across the colonies. In addition, tavern laws addressed drunkenness in customers and poor conduct in tavern owners differently. Key to understanding this is how the authorities judged moral behavior. For example, in Massachusetts, community action against drunkenness or disorderly conduct would not be pursued as aggressively as in non-sectarian colonies in Virginia, Maryland, and the Carolinas. However, across the colonies, one model of drunkenness did not exist. Was a customer considered drunk if he slurred his words or when he lost his balance and fell down? Courts had a difficult time with this as well, especially when crimes were committed while intoxicated. In the colonial mind, idleness was a sin. Lawmakers across the colonies were considered with, quote, the amount of mischief within them, their promotion of idleness and debauchery, end of quote, which forced customers to misspend their time in drunkenness, as illustrated in Sharon Salinger's Taverns and Drinking in Early America. According to historians, colonial city governments in Virginia rarely prosecuted colonists for drunkenness. Tavern patrons did get drunk, but the society did not regulate moral behavior as fiercely as, say, New England lawmakers did. In Virginia, the Carolinas, and the southern colonies, tavern and drunkenness laws existed. However, unless the intoxicated individual created a threat to life or property belonging to someone else, drunks, it seems, could drink until they ran out of money, inclination, or their health literally gave out. British American colonial Tories were often referred to as loyalists. However, their attachment to all things English in the 1760s and 1770s was only one aspect of their convictions. Like Patriots, some were intellectuals, others farmers, looking for practical results, just like the radical Patriots willing to die for their cause. In the Massachusetts Act of Banishment passed in 1778, this declaration contained a list of 300 known Tories. While many people commonly assumed Tories were aristocrats loyal to their king, this was not so. Tories came from the middle-class gentry, farming communities, worked as sailors, craftsmen, and blacksmiths, to mention a few. The architects of the American independence represented men of words and men of action, radical individuals and moderate ones, men who knew how to utilize the power of the mob, leaders who appealed to the emotions, and leaders who appealed to the intellect. A few of these men served their country only in a revolutionary capacity, but many others continued to help lay the foundations of a new nation and to guide it through the formative years. The motives of these patriots were as varied as the techniques they employed. How were the patriots able to succeed in their cause? Their ideals and values were caught up in the momentum of the 18th century historical trends, which provided additional support for their cause. These were Enlightenment publications, such as those from John Locke and later in 1776 from Thomas Paine. The techniques and organization, such as the power to persuade, use of the press and propaganda, and colonial alliances forged through challenging the Stamp Act, along with the forcefulness and ability of the Patriot spokesman, brought them success in the Revolution. While there were several factors, one looms large. The impulses and success of the Revolution required, indeed depended upon, a wide range of personalities and talents among the patriot rank and file across the social classes, as well as among the patriot leadership. Meeting in 1774, the First Continental Congress respectfully petitioned for the colonists' rights as Englishmen without success. Delegates to the Second Continental Congress in 1775 included more radical elements. Changes in 1775 led to a new spirit of independence. By April 1776, Delegate Sam Adams proposed the Congress should proclaim to the world in an official document its desire for independence from George III, a tyrant, as the King of England. In July 1776, it was agreed such a document was needed. A committee of 5 chaired the drafting of the Declaration of Independence. In 2 weeks, Thomas Jefferson drafted this document in Philadelphia behind a veil of congressionally imposed secrecy in the hot summer of June 1776 for a country racked by military and political uncertainties.